Ag PhD full episodes and more are now available on Acres TV, the newest ag platform connecting you to fields of information. Look for us on watchacrestv.com.
During our Farm Basics time today, we're going to talk about something that has changed our farm. It's automatic bin fan controls.
Well, having fans on grain bins, that's been around for a long time. Farmers have had the ability to blow air through the grain. The problem is the farmer was in control of the fan, so I forgot to turn the fan off and it ran for a few days. Or, today would have been a good day to have the fan running and I just forgot to think about it.
All right, let me explain exactly what we're talking about here. When a farmer hauls grain to a grain elevator, to a terminal, anything else, wherever they're going to sell it to, it's based on a certain moisture percentage. So, for example, with corn, let's say that the cutoff is 15%. If I haul something in that's wetter than 15%, I'm going to get what we call a dock. So they don't like that when it's wetter than 15%. But on the flip side, if let's say it's 12%, well, now I'm selling the grain, there's no dock or anything like that, but I could have sold 3 more points of moisture. And you say, well, what's the big deal there? Well, the moisture carries weight, and grain isn't technically bought by bushels anymore, it's bought by pounds. So if I can get more moisture in there and get it right up to 15, then I'm going to maximize my profitability. I can sell them water in effect. And the interesting thing is, just by turning the fan on and off at the right time, you can either dry grain down or put moisture back into the grain to get it exactly at that 15%. That's amazing, and that's what automatic bin fan controls can do.
Well, it is important to think about your profitability on the farm, but I'm also thinking about just the storability of the grain, because when we put grain in the bin, we might want to sell it in a few weeks, but chances are we're probably going to hold that grain for a number of months. And if you're going to hold grain for a long time, you don't want to have any spoilage in the bin. If you have too much moisture in the grain, that leads to more chance of spoilage happening. So by getting that moisture percentage just right, something you can do with bin fan controls, you are able to store that grain longer with less chance of spoilage.
So there have been charts out for years where if you look at the temperature and the humidity of the outside air, if you blow that into your bin continuously with the fan, then you can get it at just the right moisture. So it's kind of interesting stuff. Well, how does the automatic bin fan control work? It's real simple. It just has a temperature sensor and a humidity sensor. So it runs based on certain parameters that you would put in there for temperature and humidity, so then you can get that moisture real close to exactly what you want.
Well, there are a lot of things to think about on the farm, and one thing you don't necessarily have to think about is turning the fans on and off on your grain bins. There are automatic bin fan controls that do a great job. Well, I wish it was that easy with weeds that they could automatically be controlled, but unfortunately it's not. So if you have our Weed of the Week, stay tuned. We'll show you how to stop this one later in the show.